Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, April 6th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the San Francisco Giants. We also have coverage of the NASCAR Cup Series there at Darlington. And right now, already getting underway, about 45 minutes to an hour of racing. This is the rubber match. And again, we have to find a way to win. And I got an update on Jorge Polanco, why he wasn't in the lineup yesterday. Obviously, he has a little bit of soreness in that left knee. And they wanted him to try to go today, especially, he's our best player in 2025, batting .450. But again, if that surgically repaired left knee is not ready to go, that's why he hasn't played in the last 2 days. And he's not in the lineup today, but hopefully he'll be in the lineup tomorrow when we host the Astros back at T-Mobile. So let's get into the music, cue up the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Let's get it. And on the thumb, on the left, one of our best pitchers on the Mariners, no doubt, Bryan Woo. And on the right, a up-and-coming star for the Giants, Jung-Hoo Lee. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for my Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in right field, Victor Robles. And we're going to need Victor to start fast. And if he starts fast, hopefully we can get a few base hits and get some runs to compete here this Sunday afternoon. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, catching today for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing first base for Seattle, Luke Raley. Batting sixth, DHing for the Mariners, Rowdy Tellez. Batting seventh, playing third base for Polo, Demo Dylan Moore. Batting eighth, playing second base, Ryan Bliss. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Seattle, J.P. Crawford. And on the mound for the Mariners, arguably our best pitcher in the staff, Bryan Woo! Let's go, baby. We're going to need a good performance here today. Must-win game for the Seattle Mariners, and it's like same thing happened when we played the Tigers. We dropped the first couple games. We needed to win that last one to prevent from being swept, and we're in that same situation again. We have to find a way to win without Polo. Otherwise, we're going to get swept early by the Giants. The Giants are one of the best teams in baseball in 2025. They only have one error this season. They are fantastic. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the home San Francisco Giants. Leading off for the Giants at first base, Lamont Wade Jr. Batting second, playing shortstop, Willie Adames. Batting third, playing center field for San Francisco, Jung-Hoo Lee. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Matt Chapman. Batting fifth, playing DH today, Heliot Ramos. Batting sixth, playing right field for San Francisco, Mike Yastrzemski. Batting seventh for the Giants, left fielder today, Luis Matos. Batting eighth, catching today for the Giants, Patrick Bailey. And batting ninth, second baseman, Christian Koss. And on the mound for the Giants will be Jordan Hicks. And like I mentioned, Polo batting .450. He's been our best player in 2025 with Demo and Julio, but he's got some knee soreness in that surgically repaired left knee. That's why he wasn't in the lineup, but he wasn't on the injury report and not on the injury report again. So hopefully he'll be back when we end up playing Houston in T-Mobile for 3 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And a shout out, obviously, to the Houston Cougars. If Coach K was coaching that team yesterday, that debacle of coaching wouldn't have happened, and Duke would have advanced to the championship against Florida. But when you end up having a coach that's not as good, like a Coach K, you end up blowing a big lead. How do you score like one basket in 10 minutes of play when you have a half that's 20 minutes? That's unexcusable. What a shitty way for Cooper Flagg to kind of end his career. More than likely there at Duke, but you got to give credit to Houston. They scrapped, they scratched, they crawled, and they found a way to come back into that game, but that was purely bad coaching. And then it's shifting forward to today. Shout out to Alexander Ovechkin for breaking Wayne Gretzky's record with the most goals in the same amount of games. Unfucking believable. And again, I got a chance to watch that this morning. And then we got Darlington here, 15 laps to go in stage one, 76 out of the 283, 293, I believe, 293? So it's going to be a long race today, and we'll be covering both of the events here this afternoon. Let's get it, baby. That man in the building. I watched. I saw that. That was one of the worst, coaching debacles that I've ever seen. So at least when Auburn lost, it wasn't based off coaching. It just, the other team ended up, outplaying y'all. But again, Duke should have won that game. And it was one of the worst coaching performances I've ever seen in college hoops in the Final Four in my entire life. STL in the building, what's good? And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 if we hit the algorithm, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single screen. Let's go. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. And STL is getting us started. Said William Byron, the wild card winner, Bubba Wallace. Those are good choices for today. STL, I appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. And I got you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. And every dollar counts. Obviously your boys got bills to pay. So anything that could be done with likes, subs, shares, donos, it will definitely go a long, long way. Let's go, baby. Well, again, I mean, if you actually watched that game, it's coaching. If you're not going to stop the bleeding, when the other team is going on a momentum run, that's your fault. So again, if Cooper Flagg had Coach K, do you really think that they would have only scored one basket in 10 minutes and would have called timeouts in the proper situations? They would have won the game, and they were ahead, pretty much that whole second half, and they saw that lead, kind of get shrunk a little bit by a little bit. I mean, how the hell do you lose when you're up by 6-7 points with like 33 seconds to go? And again, when you have a shit coach, that's what happens. And again, he was a good coach up to that point, this season, but that was unexcusable. And again, Cooper Flagg had a shot, to be able to take the lead late, but he hit front rim, but it should have never been that close. They should have won that game by a minimum of 5 points or more. So again, it was shocking. And again, now we know Florida is definitely going to win the championship. And for the Duke fans, a lot of them are bandwagon. They can cry a river as they go into next season. And we'll see what happens with Cooper Flagg. Definitely disappointing because Duke versus Florida is a hell of a lot better of a natty than Houston and Florida. Houston, Florida is not going to draw ratings, but Duke, Florida would have. So, that's what happens sometimes in sports. You get exposed. And again, if Coach K was there, that wouldn't have happened. And I ended up watching, that whole game while I was doing the broadcast as well. All right, baby, let's go. Victor Robles leading off for the Seattle Mariners. And then we got Jordan Hicks here on the mound. Let's go, Victor. We need a strong start. But shout out to the Houston Cougars and shout out to Ovechkin. Those were the two big things that happened, obviously, after our broadcast late last night. First pitch in there to Victor Robles, takes a strike in the zone, behind him the count 0-1. Let's go, Victor. We need a strong start, baby, especially with Polo with that knee soreness and that surgically repaired knee. Hit right up the middle, little dribbler, throw to first. One away. And again, the Giants have only committed one error in 8 games. They're 7-1. They're fantastic this year. And it shows you how to build a roster and build a team. Let's go. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Julio steps up in the bat. Let's go, baby. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch to Julio. Back. Gone! Are you kidding me? Let's go, baby. That was the second pitch there. J-Rod with a solo dinger. That's exactly what we needed. We got that a couple days ago. Third home run within the first 7 or 8 games. That's what we love to see. J-Rod bringing the heat, bringing the action. Julio Rodriguez, 1-0 Mariners. Thank fucking God. Again, I didn't know if we were going to be able to get off to a fast start, but that's what we needed. Let's go. Nice job by Julio Rodriguez. Nice job, J-Rod. And again, it's very hard for us to be able to get hits and get home runs, let alone compete. But great start for the Mariners here against Jordan Hicks. And he crushed the fuck out of that ball. Back into left field. See ya. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And there's a big scramble there in the outfield for that home run ball. Nice job, J-Rod. Trident's up. Let's go. Beautiful. And he crushed the fuck out of that ball. And again, we need more of this Julio Rodriguez. And Julio's been pretty good. You know, you got to think Jorge Polanco has been the best player. You know, J-Rod probably number 2 and Dylan Moore number 3. But we need more guys to step up since Polo's not playing today. So we have to rely a lot on Julio and Dylan Moore here this afternoon. Nice job. Let's go. Next up, catcher Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. And we got 7 laps to go here, obviously in stage 1. Darlington with the throwback paint schemes for a lot of the cars. Very cool. Cal pops it up. And that fades into the front row for a souvenir. Foul behind in the count 0-2. Yeah, well, it's not necessarily calling timeout to talk to the players. That you call timeout to stop the bleeding, to stop the momentum, you know. But how the hell do you score 1 basket in 10 minutes? You don't deserve to make the championship if that happens. Sad, you know, because, again, we could have had an amazing natty, you know, championship. But now, you know, no disrespect to Houston, but it doesn't give you the same kind of feel where it's must-see TV. It's almost like, okay, Houston's going to need another miracle, you know, to be able to win it all. But realistically, we know Florida's winning that game. I mean, unless their, you know, players end up getting hurt, but I don't see them doing the same thing that Duke did. So, and it doesn't really give you the same kind of like, oh my God, I have to watch this type of feel. You know, no disrespect to Houston, but how many people have actually watched Houston play? You know, besides Houston fans, not many. 2-2 pitch. And Cal Raleigh, dribbler, down towards the third base line, all the way to Matos, off the wall, stand-up double for Big Dumper. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Way to be able to get that clutch hit on a 2-2 count. Here we go. Good start for the Mariners. Next up, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. And weather is extremely wet, you know, here in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to have more than an inch and a half of rain, so I'm going to get soaked after this game is over. But at least we got a decent walk in this morning, and hopefully we'll end up getting this dub so I can have a victory walk rather than a walk of defeat. Let's go. Top of the first, 1-0 Mariners. Julio Rodriguez with a solo dinger. Cal Raleigh with a double. Great start here in the top of the first in a must-win game for Seattle. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena, who's been struggling as of late. Jordan Hicks on the mound and Randy Arozarena in the box. Let's go, Randy. And the race has been pretty exciting so far in Darlington. You had a few spin outs, a few wrecks. Obviously, Kyle Larson hitting the wall early on. Big swing and a miss by Randy Arozarena. And down goes Randy, 2 away. Next up, first baseman Luke Raley. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And if we can have 1 or 2 individuals keep track of the likes and the donos, I'd be greatly appreciated. First pitch inside to Luke Raley, and it hit him. Let's go. Luke to first base. I love it. Now we got runners at first and second. Luke at first, Cal at second. Unfortunately, next up is Rowdy Tellez, and he's been really struggling. It'd be a miracle if he can get something going here. Hopefully he will, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. 4 more likes to be able to get to 10. 2 more likes to get to 10. We're at 8. 2 more to go. Let's get to double digits, and if we can get to 20, we can hit that algorithm. But Rowdy Tellez and Donovan Solano have been absolutely terrible. I think they've combined for like a hit so far this season. So, again, hopefully Rowdy can get going. But Donovan Solano, ass. Miles Mastrobuoni, kind of ass. Rowdy Tellez, ass. And, again, we don't have our best hitter, Jorge Polanco, playing again. So this is going to be a very tough one to win. But hopefully we can compete. But how do you compete? You get runs early, and that's what we did. Pitches inside to Rowdy. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tony La Russa. I got you. Pitches inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And a slow dribbler. Right back to the pitcher, and we leave 2 stranded. Rowdy, you're terrible. But at least we ended up getting a couple hits and a run in that first inning to give us a shot. Nice job, Julio. All right, let's get some Tony La Russa up here. See if we can find a couple. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. And we're going to be back in T-Mobile. Obviously, after this game is over, flying back from the Bay to Seattle, and we got a 3-game set against the Houston Astros. It's not going to be easy, considering how we played as of late. I got the Darlington race up. I got the Mariner game up. I'm ready. Let's go. Fantastic coach, manager, one of the best ever. Appreciate you. We're at 5. 95 to go. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, my guy. What a stud. All right, leading off here for the Cardinals. The Giants. First baseman, Lamont Wade Jr. Batting second, shortstop from the Brew Crew in the offseason, Willie Adames. And batting third, one of the up-and-coming stars in MLB and the Giants, center fielder Jung-Hoo Lee. He can hit and he can defend. And on the mound, our best pitcher, not named Logan Gilbert or George Kirby, it is Brian Woo! And we're going to need a Charlotte Flair Woo-like performance here today. Let's go. First pitch for Brian Woo, just outside of the zone, 1-0 count. Stage 1 on the final lap here. Byron Wallace, Priest, Busher, and Reddick. Come on, Chase. Where are you at? 1-0 pitch. Pitch is inside. And that should have been called ball, but was called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lamont Wade Jr. Come on, Brian. Woo on the mound. Wade in the box. Right down the middle with some heat right there on a 4-seam fastball, crushed foul behind in the count, 1-2, as a young kid in the stands caught that foul ball. Nice job. Beautiful. It's always cool when you can get a souvenir at a game. I always love it when I can see, grandmas, or girls or females getting baseballs because it's not often that you see them get one, let alone kids. Usually you'll get, sometimes you'll get little boys, young kids up in the front that'll get a little toss, from, maybe the bat boy or the bat girl. But for foul balls and home runs, typically most of the time it ends up being a guy getting it. So pretty cool to be able to see a kid get that ball here early on. Next up here for the Giants, Willie Adames. Popped up, fading, foul. I mean, he did go yard in the first inning against the Tigers a couple days ago. So, I mean, again, last season it took 20-plus games before he hit his first homer. So it's kind of nice that since Polo's out, at least somebody, on the Mariners is going to help us try to win. Not to say that we will, but trying to prevent from getting swept here. So this is definitely a must-win for us, and they're just playing with house money right now, the Giants. Little slow dribbler. J.P. Crawford, throw to first, and Tellez, 2 away. Next up for the Giants, center fielder, Jung-Hoo Lee. Yeah, Byron has been money so far today. Come on, Woo. First pitch to Jung-Hoo Lee. Pitch is outside of the zone, 1-0 count. Come on, Brian. We need you, baby. We got an Asian sensation going against an Asian persuasion. It's going to be tough. Brian Wu's from the Cal Poly area as well, so kind of a homecoming for him. Pitch is in the zone. That should have been called strike, called ball. This ump is already kind of starting off shitty. We already had this experience a couple games ago when we lost game 1 in the set. 2-0 pitch. And Jung-Hoo Lee crushes that one, fading foul. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jung-Hoo Lee from Brian Wu. Two-one pitch. In the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thankfully, we got that fucking call from this ump. Yeah, and, South Carolina has been a powerhouse, over the last few years, but with Buecka's, this should be UConn's year to be able to get the championship, for the females. As long as Paige doesn't get hurt, they should be able to get it. 2-2 pitch. And Jung-Hoo Lee down the third base line all the way to Randy Arozarena for a double. Nice job by Jung-Hoo Lee. He's a stud. Next up for the Giants, third baseman, Matt Chapman. Cole in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. See if we can get to 20 within the first hour and a half to hit that algorithm. Let's go. And we're at 5:95 to go to hit the goal. We're at 10 more likes to be able to get to 20. Let's go. Bottom of the first, runner at second with 2 outs. 1-0 count from Brian Wu to Matt Chapman. And we got the NASCAR Cup Series. Michael Jordan on screen right now, the owner of the 23, 35, and the 45. 1-0 pitch. Big heat with that 4-seam fastball to Chapman. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chapman in the box. Brian Wu on the mound. Let's go, Brian. And again, if we had anybody but Brian Wu on the mound, it could get ugly. So, hey, topics. Guess what? Birthplace, Oakland, California for Brian Wu. One-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got him. There we go. Nice job by Brian Wu. Let's get it, baby. Bring that electricity. Let's get it. Let's go to the top of the second. Let's see who's up next for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, they're at third base, filling in for Polo, Dylan Moore. Batting second, at second base, in the 8-hole, Ryan Bliss. And batting third, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Yeah, I already give people the boot, so. Miles in the building, what's good? No, it's all good, and again, everyone watches the game differently. Sometimes people are going to watch on their local TV provider. They're going to watch on cable and satellite. Sometimes they're going to watch through, their online account through their cable provider. Sometimes on MLB TV or Extra Innings. no one is going to be on, with everything being streaming now, no one is going to be on at the same level as every other person in the room. There's going to be people that are going to be live. There's going to be people that will be maybe 5 seconds ahead. There may be people 10 seconds behind. Again, you're never going to be able to make everybody happy and whatnot. So, but it's all good. If I need to give the Hollywood Hogan boot, I will. So. All right, we need 8 more likes to be able to get to 20. We're getting there. Let's go, baby. And we got the NASCAR Cup Series race there at Darlington on here as well, covering that. Let's go, baby. I mean, if you're going to go into a chat and be a hater, I mean, for some people, they'll just let that continue, but... if you're going to be a hater like that, I mean, that's the only comment that you're going to get here. So make it good. Top of the second, Hicks on the mound. Ryan Bliss coming up here in the box after Dylan Moore, and then after him, J.P. Crawford. Let's go. And Dylan Moore is out. Next up, second baseman is Ryan Bliss. Top of the second. In there for strike 3. Down goes Bliss. 2 away. Next up, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. First pitch from Hicks to JP, crushes that one, fading, foul. Almost went into the bay. Got a nice 1-0 lead with a Julio home run there in the first, and we're definitely going to need a lot more than that. 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's what we're going to need to be able to get this job done. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Yeah, Miles, it's been rough, but again, it hasn't really been ideal. A lot of injuries to, key components. Polo's batting .450, best player on the team in 2025, hasn't played in 2 games, and then missed a couple games with having a baby with paternity leave. A lot of the guys have been underachieving. Kirby's injured. We haven't had him all year yet. We haven't had Brash or Troy Taylor, and it definitely shows. Pitches inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Same thing. I mean, I'm covering obviously the game here, and I got like 10 screens up. The last time I saw, he was around 9th or 10th position as well. And then that pitch is outside. That's going to be a walk for J.P. Crawford. We like that. J.P. to first. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder Victor Robles. 0 for 1. Let's make it 1 for 2. Let's go. Ground out in the first. Now, again, we needed Victor Robles to drop that bunt down at some point or another. The team hasn't done it that often. And again, when you're struggling in the box, a way to be able to improve your stats is to drop a bunt down. Not very many teams are prepared for bunt defense. But again, we'll see if that ends up happening here today. Top of the second, 1-0 Mariners with a solo dinger from Julio in the top of the first. And we have Hicks on the mound, Victor Robles in the box. 0-1 pitch, jams Robles. That one fades foul behind in the count. 0-2. Come on, Victor. Pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Victor Robles. Go, Victor. Victor, little bunt towards third base, and they fumble the bag. Dude, my ESP is strong. I'm telling you, I feel like I can coach this team better than Dan Wilson. And again, sometimes you just need to trust the people that are watching these games, game in and game out, and you get kind of a half swing, half bunt attempt that goes towards third. What happens? They fumble the bag. They try to barehand it. They don't. Safe at first. Let's do more of that. And again, how many times do I need to keep reminding before they do it? And it looks finally they got the message. Nice job, Victor. Now we got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Next up, the hero today, Julio Rodriguez. Takes a moonshot swing for a 3-run blast, but swings and misses behind the count 0-1. I mean, especially if you're one of the bottom 5 teams in hitting. Again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be like, well, if we bunt, how good is their bunt defense? Probably not very good. They only have 1 error all year, but still. And then Julio with a slow dribbler, force out at second. We leave 2 stranded, but at least we got the bunt down, and hopefully that won't be the last time that we see that again. 1-0 Mariners. Let's see who's up next here for the Giants in the bottom of the second. Next up for the Giants in the 5-hole, DHing today, Heliot Ramos. Batting second, 0-for-0 with the right fielder, Mike Yastrzemski. And batting third in the 7-hole, left fielder, Luis Matos. Let's go, Mariners. Take a quick peek at the race. 101 laps in. Byron, Wallace, Priest, Reddick, and Blaney in your top 5. Busher, Big Bad Brad Keselowski, Smith, Cindric, and Logano. Where the hell is Chase? He's in, I think, 25th. Holy hell. Come on, Chase. Napa, no how. And again, anytime they don't run the Napa, car, based off the color scheme, I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't really do very good. Like, I know he's got all these other additional sponsors and whatnot, but when it's not a Napa car, I don't really have that much confidence, typically. But, he ended up getting second place, in that Hendrick, motorsports car yesterday in the Xfinity race. And he got second place, but Xfinity is completely different than obviously Cup, and we know that. Come on, Chase. We need another strong inning here from our guy, Brian Wu. Let's go, baby. How many points does Paige Buecas have right now in the championship? What's her stat line look like for anyone that's watching? We need, what are we looking at? We need 8 more likes to be able to get to 20. We're at 12. We're almost there. All right, let's go. Bottom of the second. First pitch for Brian Wu to Ramos. Pitch on the corner, but actually called strike this time around behind the count 0-1. I like that. Keep it up, Brian. Oh, 1 pitch. Tries to jam him. Right to Victor Robles. Throw to first. That was Ryan Bliss. Bang! 1 away. Nice job, Ryan. And we're going to need that defense out of you. We need defense out of everyone in the outfield. Randy Rosarina, Julio, and Victor Robles, especially with Ryan Bliss and J.P. Crawford. Nice job. 1 away. Next up is right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. First pitch to Yastrzemski. Big high heat swing and a miss on a 4-seam fastball behind the count 0-1. Nice job, Wu. Keep it moving. Next pitch, inside, just outside of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Yastrzemski. One pitch. That one crushed. And that one goes out of play as Cal takes off the mask, and it goes foul. Now behind in the count 1-2. Let's go, Mariners. Let's take a little live look in here. 108 laps in the NASCAR Cup Series in Darlington. Byron, Reddick, Wallace, Priest, and Blaney in your top 5. Buescher, Keselowski, Smith, Cindric, and Logano in your top 10. Another kid with a foul ball. Great day for foul balls for the kids in the Bay. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Nice fucking smoke there for Brian Wu. Another punch out for him. Way to bring that electricity, Brian Wu. Another punch out. I love it. Next up for the Giants, left fielder Luis Matos. Well, if nobody's watching, I'll look it up. And a little dribbler, Matos. Great defense by Bliss. Throw to first. Got him. All right, 53-40. 56-40 now. And let's look at the box score. And Bueckers has got 10. Fudd actually has 24. Holy hell. That's why they're winning. They would never expect Fudd to be having 24 points at this point in the game. Strong's got 15. And then obviously on the Gamecocks, they have nobody and double digits. That's why you're losing. High scoring for them is the Kits with 9. Game over. You know, if you can't compete, you got 3 ladies with double-digit, points already and somebody over 20, and you got nobody over 9. Game over. Goodbye, South Carolina. Not today. Paige Bueckers. And good for her. She's had a crazy story with injuries in her career, and it would be great for her to, end her career with a big championship there at the end. End of the second inning, 1-0 Mariners. Brian Wu, wheeling and dealing. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle. Next up for Seattle, 1-for-1 with a double catcher, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Big Dumper. You've been struggling. I love you, but again, you haven't been that good so far in 2025. Let's step it up here today. But you did get a double, so I can't complain. Batting second, left fielder, 0-for-1 with a K, a guy that needs to turn it around, Randy Arozarena. And batting third, first baseman today, Luke Raley. Let's go, Mariners. So far, so good. And again, if we had anybody but Brian Wu on the mound, we probably would lose this game, especially with no Polo in the lineup. So hopefully Brian can go a solid 6 or 7 innings, and we can prevent from getting the brooms out and getting swept. 112 laps in. We're not halfway yet. Another 30 laps or so to be halfway at Darlington. Pretty cool track. Byron, Reddick, Wallace, Priest, and Blaney still in the top 5, and Byron has been money today. Chase not even in the top 20. That stinks. Yeah, but no. Now, maybe the game plan for South Carolina, they were like, we're going to get Paige out of the game. But again, if you end up doubling Paige or trying to take her out of the game, UConn's got a couple other players that can step up. But a big performance so far out of the Huskies. And again, we'll see where it goes. Uh-oh, back. Gone! Let's go, baby! Hit it into the fucking bay. Let's go. It doesn't go that far. Cal Raleigh, tridents up. You ask and you shall receive. We started off with obviously you know who, Julio Rodriguez in the first inning. And again, all you got to do is let him know, hey, you need to step it up. Guess what? He did. 2-0 Mariners. Let's go. Tridents up. Nice job, Big Dumper. Fuck yeah. Again, we need this. Big Dumper. Everyone's hitting up my phone here in the Pacific Northwest. Let's go. 2-0 Mariners. Great start. Home run by Julio. Home run by Cal. Okay, Randy, you want to join the party? Let's go, baby. Tridents up. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. This might be a solid day here for the Mariners. Let's go. We need that. Tries to jam Randy Arozarena there. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hicks to Randy. Let's go. And we're not really known as like a home run hitting team, so to be able to get this kind of production with Polo out, huge. And with Wu on the mound. We want to get Wu, and don't be surprised if Wu ends up having the best record out of any pitcher on the Mariners, even including Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, Luis Castillo. I feel like Wu might have a chance to be the best pitcher this year for us. And Hicks with a big punch out at Randy Arozarena. And Randy walking to the dugout a little disgusted. 1 away. Next up, first baseman, Luke Rayleigh. We need a fucking nuke. Let's go, Luke. Bring that electricity, baby. First pitch to Luke Rayleigh. High and outside. 1-0 count. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Who you guys playing today? But at least Julio is homered, right? Cal Raleigh just homered. And again, Wu is pitching phenomenal. And an update on Polo. He's got left knee soreness on that surgically repaired knee. That's why he didn't play yesterday or today, even though he's not on the injury report. Shame on you, Dan Wilson. I was about to say, are you Scott Service 2.0? And so far, I guess not. But we'll wait and see. But that's the reason why we haven't seen Polo in a couple days. You know, first he was off for a couple days with paternity leave. Then he came back for a game or two. Then now was out for a couple games. And hopefully he'll be back, obviously tomorrow when we play the Astros at home at T-Mobile for a 3-game set. And I will be covering all 3 games. Little dribbler. Little flip to first. Just in time, 2 away. Yeah, but even if you guys end up losing today, more than likely you guys are going to go all the way and win the championship. So regular season game, doesn't matter. You guys are already the best team in the NBA, and as long as you don't have any major injuries, it's really your guys' championship to lose. Should be more than likely. I don't want to disrespect the Cavs, but I think the Celtics in a 7-game series could beat them. But we should have Thunder Celtics in the finals this year, unless there's injuries that, change that scenario. And then if the injuries end up changing that scenario, then next team up would be the Nuggets and then the Cavs. We'll see where it goes. Next up is Rowdy Tellez. But hey, at least we're not down 2-0 with Brian Wu on the mound. Got to have somebody win today. Yeah, but even with the injuries that you have, you're still the best team in the NBA. And that's coming from a Blazer fan too, so I'm not a hater. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Tellez pops up into left field, and that is out number 3, but the damage is done. And again, fantastic job by Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. Raise that trident and smile big, baby. 2-0 Mariners with 4 hits already. Let's go. But again, Jordan Hicks really isn't the greatest pitcher. But again, we have to find a way to win a game and prevent from getting swept. So who the fuck cares who's up there? We just have to fucking do some damage. So far, so good. Next up, in the 8-hole, catcher Patrick Bailey. Cool photo. Batting second baseman, Christian Koss. Couldn't find any other photo besides this one because they don't have any photos of him. And batting third, back at the top of the order, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman Lamont Wade Jr. Let's go Mariners. And then we get Brian Wu on the mound, wheeling and dealing. Let's take a look at the stats for the pitchers early on. So let's start it off with Brian Wu. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks. Stud, ERA of 1.13. The best pitcher on the team, not named Logan Gilbert. Facts. Since George Kirby hasn't played yet this year, but with that shoulder inflammation, it might be the year that Wu passes Kirby. It might be a lingering thing with Kirby this year. And Wu might even pass Gilbert as our best pitcher in 2025. Don't be surprised. And then when we go to Jordan Hicks, 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. We'll take that. Let's go. Let's go, M's. Asian sensation versus Asian sensation. Wu from the Cal Poly area. It's a homecoming. Let's get this dub. 61 to go here in stage 2. Byron, Reddick, Blaney, Priest, and Busher. Big Bad Brad, Keselowski in 6th. Smith, Wallace, Cindric, and Logano in 10th. Where the hell is my boy Chase Elliott? Not even in the top 20. Rough. And the next opponent for the Giants will be the Cincinnati Reds. Ellie De La Cruz. We're at 5:95 to go. First pitch right down the middle to Patrick Bailey in there for a strike for Brian Wu. Nice job, Brian. Keep it moving, baby. And Patrick Bailey in the box. Pitch was dropped there by Cal. 1 ball and 1 strike to Patrick Bailey. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Mariners. Solo dinger by Julio in the first. Solo dinger by Cal Raleigh in the top of the 3rd. And hopefully we'll get a few more before the game is up. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Pitch is outside. Out of the zone, but called strike. I don't know if that was a makeup call, but this ump is really bad. Out of all the umps that we've had in this series, this has been the worst one to start off the game. Strike zone is either incredibly small or incredibly big, depending on who's up. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and he's definitely making some makeup calls as well. Terrible. Just, be fair for both teams. 2-2 pitch. And Bailey crushes that one foul. Count remains 2-2. NFL draft right around the corner. Kind of shitty that the quarterback class is so terrible, but at least there's some other positions like running back, receiver, and some of the guys on the D line that will make it interesting. A few good corners, few good linebackers, some good guys on the edge and up front. Some good offensive linemen. Probably the deepest position will be running back this year. Scadaboo and Genty and a lot of others. 2-2 pitch. And that one crushed foul. Count remains 2-2 from Brian Wu on the mound to Patrick Bailey. Two-two pitch. Popped up. Should be a routine play there, and it is. There we go. Nice job by Demo. 1 away. Good defense, brother. Next up for the Giants, second baseman Christian Koss, who normally doesn't play, and I fucking looked for photos forever, and this is the only one that I could find that was, not even a good photo, but at least a photo. Everything else wasn't even able to format. But hopefully after this game, they'll have more photos of him in the future, and I'll have a better one than that. Pitch right down the middle for a strike for Brian Wu, ahead of the count, 0-1. Yeah, Scat is awesome. He should be able to find a good team, especially if he's got a good offensive line. He'll be a fun guy to watch in the NFL, depending on what team he goes to. Hopefully he doesn't go to a team that's got shit culture, that buries him in the depth chart. Hopefully he'll end up being either a starter or like an RB2, and he can work his way up to being a starter, at some point, maybe in year number 2. Little dribbler towards first base, flip to Brian Wu, 2 away. Next up is first baseman Lamont Wade Jr. Good source. I use that as well. Good stat as well. Cole dropping the stats in the chat. I love it. Anything that has to do with stats and analytics, that's what I'm about. And that would be a stat that I probably would have read after this game was over. So I do appreciate that very much. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 Mariners. Solo dinger by Julio in the first. Solo dinger by Cal in the 3rd. And Brian Wu has been wheeling and dealing. And I appreciate that update. I got it on here to the right, but obviously I'm focusing on like 5 screens at once. Chase in 7th. I love to hear that, Nat, man. Keep me updated with Chase Elliott if he can get a little bit further. Bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs, 2-0 Mariners. And a 1-1 count to Lamont Wade Jr. Come on, Woo. High heat, just outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's go, Brian. It's the year of the Woo, baby. And Woo might be my favorite pitcher out of everyone. Even over Gilbert and Kirby. I mean, I love Gilbert and Kirby and what they bring, and I like Bryce Miller as well. Really, the only starter I don't really like is Luis Castillo, just because he's kind of, being on the decline. He's definitely our number 5, but again, if Luis Castillo is our 5, for a lot of other teams in baseball, he would be a 1, 2, or 3. So I can't bitch. If that's our 5th best pitcher, we're doing something right, and that's why we have one of the top 3 pitching staffs in baseball. With the Phillies and Dodgers right there with us. But at some point, I would love for someone to replace him. But if he's on the team for now, hopefully, he can hold his own. Two-two pitch. And Wade crushes that one behind the plate. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Byron, Logano, Jones, Barry, Hamlin chasing 6th now. Here we go. That's what I like to see. 2-2 pitch from Wu to Wade. Smoke him. Got him. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The crowd boos with displeasure, but here in Seattle, we love them. It's the year of the woo! Let's go. Way to get out of that inning. End of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Mariners. Our pitcher's doing great. Our hitters are doing great. We're hitting home runs. Wu is killing it on the mound. Where has this been? And again, too bad we can't have Wu pitch every fucking game. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners, and we can add on to our lead. We need some insurance, and we're not talking Geico. Next up, right fielder, Victor Robles, 1 for 2. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and RBI solo dinger, Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 2 for 2 with a double and a solo dinger, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. His best game so far this year. And again, when we can have a tridents up moment here and another tridents moment up here, things are going pretty damn good. Let's go. .47 laps to go here in stage 2, and we're just approaching about halfway through Darlington. William Byron's car with the flames looks amazing, and he's led all 138 laps. When's the last time you've seen that? It's been a minute. Nice job by Byron. That flame on the car reminds me of Jeff Gordon, from back in the day. Very cool. And then we got an AEW pay-per-view on later tonight that I'm going to be watching with Odin. He's in New York, but I'm going to message him. I know he's been a little down in the last couple days, but I think we're going to end up watching that. Obviously, not in the same room, him being in New York, but usually it's like, we can watch the event and we can kind of message each other while the matches are going on. Kind of a cool bonding experience, especially when, someone's a little down and whatnot. Unless he ends up being busy, but I'm going to watch it. Dribbler towards third base to Dylan Moore. Throw to first. Got him. Good defense there by Chapman at third. And again, Dylan Moore has been pretty damn good for us so far this year. Next up, second baseman Ryan Bliss. He's like the Spud Webb, Muggsy Bogues of the MLB. He's only 5'5", 5'6". Not a very good hitter. He's more of like a defender. And at some point, we're going to bring up, Cole Young, Colt Emerson, and one of those guys is going to take his spot. But those guys aren't ready just yet. But hopefully Bliss can, get a little bit better in the box. Which is high and tight inside. 2-0 count from Hicks to Ryan Bliss. Let's go, Ryan. Top of the fourth, 2-0 Mariners. Hicks on the mound with 3 Ks so far. Ryan Bliss 0 for 1 with a K so far this afternoon. Pitch is high and tight. Should have been a ball called strike. God, this ump is terrible. I've already seen this ump, like, I'm not even lying. He's missed calls for the Giants and Seattle, probably like 10. We're only in the 4th inning. Pitch is outside, and I get it if it ends up being kind of close, but when it's like so far off, the strike zone, makes you kind of wonder what kind of parlay this guy has on DraftKings. Come on, my guy. 3-1 pitch to Hicks. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count now. Count was full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chopper behind the plate, foul. Yeah, and if you want that link, Sarah, I don't know what kind of schedule you have later on. It's at 5 Pacific, but if you are interested, I can let you know where to go. And I know Odin will be watching. I'll be watching. Throw to first, got him. 2 away. The card isn't necessarily the greatest, but I do feel that there's going to be some like pretty good matches. Like if you're looking at it visually, it doesn't like really jump off the page, but I feel that it will be pretty good. Maybe not WWE good, but it's AEW. Sometimes their pay-per-views can, live up to WWE standards and sometimes even succeed them, depending on like who's wrestling. If we get Omega or Will Ospreay, we know how good those guys are. They're, on that WWE level and sometimes even better than WWE's level. Facts. Next up is J.P. Crawford. 1-0 pitch in the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. But I always like being able to kind of cap off the weekend, with a nice pay-per-view, especially if you get one from WWE or AEW or whatever federation is there. Little dribbler. Throw to first. And an easy 1-2-3 inning there for Hicks. Probably the best inning that he's had so far up to this point. Only 1 hit for the Giants, which is rare. And we have 2 runs, 2 solo dingers, and 4 hits. Normally that stat is kind of backwards, but we'll take it. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning and see who's up next for the Giants. Next up for the Giants, 0-for-1, shortstop Willie Adames. Batting second, center fielder, a guy that I love, defender and hitter, center fielder Jung-Hoo Lee, my cousin. And batting third, 0-for-1 with a K, third baseman, Matt Chapman. I got a chance to talk to the guy in my neighborhood, the only guy that I really respect in my neighborhood that walks on my level and above and beyond. And I had a conversation with him because the guy that, I had to call animal control on that attacked me in Paisley, obviously with his dog, lives 2 houses down from the guy that has these 2 golden retrievers. This guy walks, and I'm not even shitting you. I walk 5 miles a day with Paisley. This guy walks 12 miles a day, and he's not exaggerating because I see him in the neighborhood, and he walks super long distances. And we had a nice little conversation, and I'm not usually going to talk to too many people, in the neighborhood that have dogs because most of these people are assholes and, they have their dogs off leash and whatnot. But this guy is a great dog father. I really respect the guy to put in that much love and time for his Goldens. And 12 miles a day is incredible. And, he's my hero. I mean, I look up to that guy. And again, I don't know if I'll be able to get to that level, walking, an hour and a half for, 5-6 miles, and another hour and a half for another 5 or 6. I don't even know if Paisley could handle that, but shout out to him. What a stud. And hopefully, his dogs are incredibly happy having a loving dog father like him. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Seattle. I did not see that. But it will be interesting to see if WWE has any interest with her. I mean, obviously, there's room for her. She's good on the microphone. AEW dropped the ball. And, Soraya, a.k.a. Paige, I don't really need to see her wrestle anymore. Again, if they do, she's kind of like where Carmella would have been if they would have re-signed her, kind of mid-card. You're not really the same wrestler anymore. But again, Soraya, a.k.a. Paige, could be a manager, But definitely, I would love to see Britt Baker wrestle. And, the women's division's got Toni Storm, and they decided to kind of go that route, but kind of sad that the AEW couldn't really work out a good relationship with Britt Baker there. There has been kind of rumblings that she's kind of hard to work with, And that could be true. You know, a lot of times when you hear these, you know, kind of rumblings, like Riddle trying to talk shit about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We obviously know Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are professional. Riddle making bad decisions on and off the mat was what resulted him getting fired. So, you know, a lot of times that people that are in the blame like to blame others. Facts. Popped up behind play and foul. You know, and kind of sad too, because Riddle got pushed by Vince. And if Riddle just could have been, you know, not partying so much, maybe he's still in, WWE. I mean, hell, they gave him a gold medal. They fucking paired him up with Randy Orton, and he fumbled the bag, you know, and he actually was pretty decent, you know, as far as like an athlete in the ring. Not everyone's favorite, but, you know, you can't fumble the bag when you make it to that level. Popped up. And that drops right in front of Julio. What a nice base knock there. And Willie Adames, nice little base knock for a single right in front of Julio. That's our second hit of the day. Next up, center fielder, Jung-Hoo Lee. Getting it done with the most doubles, and it's the third most doubles they've had ever since 1901. 1998, they had 23. 1912, right below that, and then obviously this year, they're, you know, hovering around that 18, 19 number. Imagine being like 8 games in and almost at 20 doubles. You know your team is kicking ass and taking names, and if you haven't noticed, the Giants are 7-1, 2-0 at home. But you already knew something was up with her when she wasn't on TV for like 6 months to a year. Pitches low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just like Omos, the big brother on WWE. He hasn't been on TV for a year. You know, sometimes it goes by real quick where you remember him, and then all of a sudden you have all these other matches and pay-per-views and PLEs, and you forget about a guy or a girl. You know, and like, where the hell has that individual been? And it's been a year since Omos has been on TV, but, you know, they got other guys that might be more popular and more exciting, like Obafemi at some point or another, that may be able to take that spot. So there's only so many spots in, wrestling for those guys and girls. So bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Mariners. 1-2 count to Jung-Hoo Lee, who's unstoppable. And Lee with another hit. Same spot, right over Dylan Moore's head. Guy's a killer, man. Asian persuasion, the Asian sensation. And again, it's not just on the Dodgers. They got them spread out all over the place. And the Korean King does it again. Nice job, Jung-Hoo Lee. It's not just Japanese players that are balling. Next up, third baseman Matt Chapman. And all the Korean fans in the Bay love Jung-Hoo Lee. Byron, Logano, Hamlin, Bell, Barry, Gibbs, Dillon, Blaney, Bowman, and Reddick. Where is Chase Elliott? 5 for 8 with 2 doubles, a home run, 7 ribbies, and 4 runs with runners in scoring position. Hell of a stat line for Chapman. That one popped up foul. Well, those two things really don't go together, Riddle and Lesnar, so... But at this point, neither one is on WWE. So, but we'll see if we end up getting Brock back on TV. But he was a part of that scandal with Vince, of taking advantage of female talent and whatnot. So we may not see Brock Lesnar ever again. I mean, it's like you're already married to Sable, my guy, but it shows you, there isn't really any loyalty in life anymore. 0-2 pitch. Robles in right field. There we go. 1 away. Chapman flied out to right. And that's a rarity when we play him. Next up, DHing today, one of the underrated hitters, Elliot Ramos. 0 for 1. Hopefully we'll be making it 0 for 2. Well, if we're talking about standing up face-to-face fighting, no. But if it's on the ground grappling, he might be able to. MMA is different. There's guys that can do submissions, and leg locks and arm bars and try to break your arm and, choke you out. So even though, some guys are going to be good face-to-face, like brawling style, that doesn't mean that they're going to be good in MMA when guys are trained in like jiu-jitsu and, different martial arts. So, facts. Pitch in the zone for a ball. Could have been a strike. 1-0 count. Runners at first and second, and this is the best opportunity for the Giants so far, but Brian Wu is our ace. He is our king, and hopefully he'll be able to get us out here of this inning. Bottom of the fourth, runners at first and second. 1-0 count for Wu to Ramos. Pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike for Wu to Ramos. Yeah, MLW. Rob Van Dam made an entrance in that yesterday as well. Saw that on my timeline. I imagine, Sarah, you saw that as well. 1-1 pitch. Ramos with the single. Is that going to bring a guy home? Throw home. And yes, it does. 2-1 Mariners. Nice job by the Giants there. What can you do? They have so many good hitters in the lineup, and they have the utmost confidence, which they should, being 7-1. Nice job by Ramos with that RBI single. Next up is Mike Yastrzemski. And hopefully we don't have them tie this game up here 2-1. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Trying to hit that algorithm. And we're at 5:95 to go. Let's go, baby. What are we at on the likes right now? We got to be getting close to 20. If we're not there already. Bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Mariners. Giants get their first score here with that RBI by Ramos. And we had a solo dinger in the first by Julio, solo dinger in the third by Cal Raleigh, big dumper. And we're sitting here 2-1, just trying to hang on with Brian Wu. And Wu steps off the mound. Back, gone! Holy fuck. Big 3-run jack by Yastrzemski, which is very rare. Now we're down 4-2. Holy fuck. And Yastrzemski crushed the fuck out of that ball. Oh my, right? And it goes down the tunnel as a fan goes to chase that ball. Because again, we need Wu to be clean. And for Wu to give up a homer like that, we might be getting swept now. And we don't really give up 3-run homers often, let alone our best pitcher not named Logan Gilbert. That was soul crushing. Holy fuck. Well, hopefully we can get a few more people to show some love. I might need it. Might need therapy after that one. Nice job by Mike Yastrzemski. Nice job. 3-run jack, which is not really normally in his repertoire. Next up, left fielder Luis Matos. But it shows you, when you have a team that is red hot with Uncle Mo and that momentum, it feeds off everyone from the top of the order to the bottom of the order, and the confidence that it is at its utmost high. I don't know if I've seen this Giant team this confident since 2010, 2012, or 2014 when they went to the World Series and won. Not saying that they're going to go to the World Series this year, because we know the Dodgers are the best team and the Padres are pretty good in the division as well. But this Giant team is a team to be reckoned with. Stage 2, 24 laps to go at Darlington. Byron, Logano, Hamlin, Barry, and Bell. Blaney, Gibbs, Dillon, Bowman, and Reddick in your top 10. Chase Elliott in 13. Next up is Luis Matos. Fouls that one back behind in the count 1-2. Got to get out of this inning now. The damage is already done. Come on, Wu. We can't have our best pitcher not named Logan Gilbert throw shit like that, but it happens. Chopper towards third base and foul. Yeah, very rare for Wu to give up a home run, let alone a 3-run jack. But again, this Giant team is amazing. Got to give credit where credit's due. Can't be a hater. They're fantastic. Bottom of the fourth, 4-2 Giants after a 3-run blast by Mike Yastrzemski. Wu on the mound. and Matos in the box. 0 for 1 with a ground out in the second. 1-2 pitch. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can tell Wu is a little rattled after that 3-run homer. The ump has not been good today for both teams. You know, balls are strikes, strikes are balls, and you can tell he's starting to get a little frustrated. I would too. You got to dust yourself off and collect yourself here. Otherwise, this is going to get out of hand. Popped up, Matos, all the way to Julio. Nice catch by Julio Rodriguez there in center field, 2 away. Next up for the Giants, catcher Patrick Bailey. Thank you, Captain. Appreciate you. 5 more to 20. Let's get there. Now 3. Yeah, I saw that Baron Corbin made his debut over there as well, helping Dijak. Yeah, Byron's amazing so far today. Popped up. And that should be out number 3, but Julio's there. No fly zone on back-to-back outs there, but hey, you know, when someone comes in there and gets a 3-run jack, and that's not normally what they do, that's what you get in the 6 hole from Mike Yastrzemski. Carl would be proud. Go to the top of the 5th. Now we're down by 2. Let's do a little live look in here. Stage 2, 19 laps to go. Voice of Greg Biffle, the Biffmeister. Haven't heard from him in a minute. Byron, Logano, Hamlin, Barry, and Bell in your top 5. Blaney, Gibbs, Dillon, Bowman, and Reddick in your top 10. Let's go Mariners. Now, if we had Polo in the lineup, you know, I would feel pretty confident that we could get this tied up to 4-4, but, you know, with Polo not playing, man, I mean, who's going to be the guy that's going to help us besides Julio and Cal? You know, is it going to be Dylan Moore? You know, he's been pretty good for us in 2025, but who else? Will it be Robles? Will it be Randy, who's been on a slump? Could we get a solo dinger maybe from Luke Raley? Rowdy Tellez has been fucking terrible, and Bliss and JP have almost been non-existent. I mean, every once in a while they'll do something, but hopefully we can find the right combination to at least cut into this lead and make it 4-3, hopefully by at least the 7th inning. But we're going to the top of the 5th. And Larson hitting the wall early on. Unfortunate for him. And Elliott is in, 13th? Hopefully we can get him a little bit higher up into the pack. I know, I saw that. I'm watching. I see. I have eyes. Next up, right fielder, 1 for 2, Victor Robles. Batting second, Julio Rodriguez, and batting third, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Robles. We need something here, baby. Come on, Victor. And he's still got Hicks on the mound. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Big swing and a miss for Robles. Behind in the count, 1-2. Robles in the box. Jordan Hicks on the mound. And that is strike number 3 looking. Robles not happy about that. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Solo dinger in the first. Trident's up. But again, if we're going to have any chance of not getting swept, we might need Julio or Cal to hit another home run. And I know that might be asking too much, but we'll see. First pitch to Julio. Dribbler. No patience in the box. What a play. Throw to first. And wow, got him. And if Julio would have ran hard to first, he might have been able to run that out. Willie Adames getting a 360 spin. One of the best defensive plays I've seen in 2025. And poor effort by Julio running to first. Show some more effort, Julio. Wow, what a play. That was very Derek Jeter-like. Nice job, Willie. Great D there. Next up is Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. 2 for 2, stand-up double and a solo dinger. We're going to need more. First pitch to Cal Raleigh inside, 1-0 count. And Adames and Julio are good friends, so they're having a little conversation there. I can't believe you got me there. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hicks to Cal. Yeah. And second yesterday, so, I mean, he did race against poor competition yesterday, but, you know, at least he ended up getting, you know, a second place finish. And it was only like a second back from the win, but obviously when you go to Cup, not the same. A lot more competition, a lot more crazy shit can happen. Cal, and another base knock. What a day. 3 for 3 day for Cal Raleigh. Nice little bloop single into the right field. We love that. Nice job, Cal. Cal's trying to help us win. Most home runs as a catcher. Number 1 since 2022, Cal Raleigh with 78. Number 2, JT Romuto with 56. Langoliers, 55. Will Smith, 51. Stop playing with my boy. He's got 22 home runs more than the second place guy. And Cal Raleigh wasn't an all-star last year. Fuck out of here. Everyone thinking Cal's not a good catcher. Ridiculous. He's got 22 more home runs than anyone since he came into the league at that catching position. Leader, defender, home run hitter. The only thing that you can say is, hey, get that batting average up a little bit. But, you know, other than that, everything is just money. Nice job, Cal. Next up is Randy Arozarena. 1-1 count. Pitch in the zone, low, but called strike. God, this ump is terrible. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Randy looks back at the ump with fucking the laser death eye, shakes his head. And again, there's been at least 13, 14, 15 pitches that have been off for both teams. Wild pitch, throw to first, and safe. You know, but hard to be able to get back into the matchup when the strike zone is extremely small or extremely big, depending on who's up. Okay, we got 8 laps to go in stage 2. Byron, Logano, Hamlin, Barry, and Blaney. Bell, Gibbs, Dillon, Reddick, and Bowman in your top 10. Chase at 12th. Napa, no. How? Come on, Chase. And check swing, did he go? And he did. And Randy's about to just lose his shit. Oh, man. You know, it's one thing when you're struggling, and then on top of that, when the ump is against you, hard to be able to mentally get your mind focused and, you know, try to put that behind you. But it definitely affects players like it did just right there. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Giants up 4-2. Next up for the Giants, second baseman, Christian Koss. Batting second, first baseman, Lamont Wade Jr. And batting third with that defensive gem in that previous half inning, shortstop from the Brew Crew, Willie Adames. Let's go Mariners. We do a little live look in here with the 6 laps to go as we're in Eric Jones's ride, 34th, 24th, 35th, 3rd, and now in 11th. As William Byron in that 24, staying up front pretty much this whole race. Byron, Logano, Hamlin, Barry, and Blaney. And hopefully we can get Chase into the top 10. But kind of hard to pass on this track. Especially with Byron getting all that clean air. Jacob in the building, what's good? Go over some of the scores since Jacob gave an update there for the Yankee matchup. $82.59 UConn. What I tell you, you either know or you don't. All right, Twins up 7-5 on the Astros. Padres and Cubs knotted up at 7. Rays and Rangers knotted up at 3. A lot of tie games right now. Rockies up 7-4 on the Athletics. Giants on this game, 4-2 up on the Mariners. Guardians and Angels knotted up at 2. And we only have 2 finals. Nats beating the Diamondbacks 5-4. Phillies beating the Dodgers 8-7. That's rare. Marlins and Braves is postponed. And then the Pirates beat the Yankees 5-4 in 11. And it wasn't even Skeens pitching. And then Red Sox beat the Cardinals in 10-5-4. Tigers 4-3 over the White Sox. Mets 2-1 over the Blue Jays. Royals 4-1 over the Orioles. And 8-2 Brewers over the Reds. Slow dribbler. JP, throw to first. One away. Next up for the Giants, first baseman Lamont Wade Jr. Bottom of the fifth, 4-2 Giants. Come on, M's. Stage 2 final lap. Byron, Logano, Hamlin, Blaney, and Barry. And there it is. Byron up front still. God, what total domination by William Byron. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts for Lamont Wade Jr. Brian Wu still in there. And really the only fuck up today is that 3-run blast by Mike Yastrzemski. Other than that, Wu has been good. And, again, I feel that he's our best pitcher besides Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. Those are our best 3. Then Bryce Miller, then Luis Castillo. But, every once in a while, especially when you play a hot team that's overachieving early, 7-1 Giants, they've been hot, and we're on the brink of getting swept here. Not ideal. But again, if we had Polo, we would be much better off. Calvin in the building. What's good, brother? Back-to-back days with Calvin? It's a miracle. Wow. It's a pleasure, my guy. Great to have you in the room, even if it's just for a few minutes. How are you doing? And appreciate the support, too. If we could get more people to be like you and support the channel, we would be off in a better place. I don't need to be rich. I just need to pay my bills. So shout out to you for always showing love when you can. And that is a walk from Wu to Wade. And Lamont Wade Jr. goes to first. Next up, shortstop, Willie Adames. Had a day off. Nice. And after this, I'll be taking Paisley on a long walk, watching the NASCAR Cup Series race. And then in a couple hours, we'll have the AEW pay-per-view, and I'll be watching that as well. Chopper. Adames. Throw to first. Got him. 2 away. Good play there by Brian Wu. And a nice play there by Willie Adames. Next up, the Korean King, center fielder, Jung-Hoo Lee. Absolute stud hitting, absolute stud defending at center field. Two for 2 with a double and a single. And he loves to pull that baseball towards third base. He's a fucking master at it. Wu to Lee, pitches outside, 1-0 count. Bottom of the fifth, 4-2 Giants. Pitch is high and in the corner for the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Lee. We're at 5, 95 to go. One pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And we're only a couple likes away from 20, so if you are in the room and you haven't done it yet, we need 1 more to get to 20. We're at 19, so thank you to whoever that was. Appreciate you. And then we can get into the algorithm. Pitch is outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Appreciate you. $2 holla. Every dollar counts. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Is that who you want to see a photo of? Let me know what you want for photos, and I got you. We're at 7:93 to go. 3-1 pitch. Pitch in the zone for a strike. Count now is full from Woo to Jung-Hoo Lee. Bottom of the fifth, runner at second, 2 outs. We need to get him out. He's a hitting machine, the Korean King. Throw to second, and he is safe. Chopper fading foul. Count remains still 3-2. $2 holla. Oh God, they would lose it. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack, bang bang. You don't want him there though, do you? Appreciate you. Ducks and the Gamecocks. Tahina pow pow. Make you go pow pow. And Jung-Hoo Lee crushes that one into right field, right into Victor Robles' mitt. Thank God. End of the fifth, 4-2 Giants. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman, 0 for 1, Luke Raley. Batting second, DHing for Seattle, 0 for 2. Terrible, Rowdy Tellez. Hopefully we can find someone that can fucking hit there. And batting third, 0 for 2, third baseman, Dylan Moore. Pow pow. Yeah, he better stop patting the ball, though. Otherwise, he's going to, he's going to get picked off left and right. Anytime you end up having those little quirks, in your game and you pat the football before you throw it, it's a dead giveaway, so hopefully he'll be able to change his mechanics. Otherwise, it could be rough for him, but we will see. $2 holla. Appreciate you. Let him know. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Yeah, but with Carr, obviously not a good fit there. You guys have way too many holes to be wasting a pick on Shador. Appreciate you. Dude, that's not more of a true fucking statement than I've ever heard, dude. I follow every fan base, especially the NFC South heavy. Dude, you are so correct. You are so right, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, top of the sixth, 4-2 Giants. And Luke Raley gets hit. Let's go. That's going to leave a bruise. Luke to first. Next up is Rowdy Tellez. Top of the sixth, 4-2 Giants. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rowdy Tellez, who's been terrible for us so far here in 2025. One pitch. Pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Hicks to Tellez. Tellez crushes that one, fading foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Giants are phenomenal. They've only made 1 error all season coming into this game. They got great players top to bottom. And again, pitching has been good for them. And anytime you can end up, coming in, with like a 5-1 record, on the road to start the season, I don't think anyone anticipated that. And, line drive to Les, 1 away. Next up is third baseman Dylan Moore. Yeah, this quarterback class fucking stinks, though. You got Cam Ward, you got Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel. It all stinks. And again, more than likely, these guys are going to go to bad teams with bad aura, bad vibe, bad culture, so it's going to be hard for Shedeur Sanders or a Cam Ward to succeed if they get drafted high, unless you think a guy like one of those going to the Cleveland Browns is a good idea, or going to like the Giants or one of those type of teams. They might have to wait until they go to their second team, after their rookie deal is up to kind of, revive their, career. But next year's quarterback class will be much better. But at least we have good running backs coming in. Schaefer. Fuck out of here. There's so many rumors going out of there, and obviously even like the Jets now saying, oh, we don't even think Breece Hall is that good. What? Dude, you bringing in Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams was stupid, but again, Breece Hall sometimes gets hurt, but, to act like they're going to let him go or maybe the Raiders have interest in Kenneth Walker III to pair him up with Geno for the Raiders. But again, if the Raiders are in position and they don't get Kenneth Walker III in a trade from Seattle, yeah, definitely Ashton Genty to the Raiders. That would be the best fit. And then that would give them a Josh Jacobs type, of runner. And again, offensive line still needs work for the Raiders, but obviously there's some offensive lines that are much worse than Vegas. But the Raiders with Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly would be smart to draft him if he was available at that point. And there we go, nice little base knock. There we go. Runners at first and second, baby. Nice job, Demo. Attaboy. Next up is Ryan Bliss. And Josh Berry spun out, and we have a caution. All right. Now they're due with a pitching change here. And Jordan Hicks' day is done. Got the safety team out there. Let me look at this replay here on the NASCAR Cup. Oh, he hit the wall. Oh, shit. Hit the brakes. Bang! Oh, there goes Josh Berry. Goodbye. It's not over yet, but yeah, realistically, it probably will be a sweep. Not hurting my feelings by saying that. But, we got a chance. We got runners at first and second. I mean, we're a bottom 5 hitting team. We haven't had George Kirby all year. We haven't had Troy Taylor all year. We haven't had Matt Brash all year. Bottom 5 hitting team. Polo's hitting 450, but he hasn't been playing in the last couple games. So it's not like we have our strongest team out there right now. How many teams are, injured to the Mariners' extent this early? Not many. There's teams that are playing bad, but there's also teams that have guys that are injured that are making them, play bad, and again, some players like Polo, Demo, Julio, they've been, playing pretty good. But again, you can't have just 3 guys, out of 9 play good. And again, Polo, obviously with that injury to his left knee, hopefully he'll be ready tomorrow, against the Astros. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone anticipated the Braves being as shitty as they have been this season. They're a better team than that, But again, injuries and obviously confidence. Once you start getting yourself in a hole, you have to dig yourself out. And then if the team starts to not believe in themselves, then you start to kind of go on a skid. So, but hopefully your Braves will be able to turn it around. And I still have confidence. I mean, it's 162 games. It's early, Next up in there is Randy Rodriguez for the Giants. And a little dribbler there. That's a single. 4-3 Giants. That's that little bullshit sweep talk. Keep it up. Talk some shit, and then we end up tying it up here in a second. 4-3 Giants. Thank you. I appreciate that, John. Let's go. Nice little base knock there to get this lead cut down to 4-3 with runners on the corners with 1 out. It's karma, man. Anyone that loves to come in here and talk shit, then then we end up having a little bit of offensive production right after that. Nice job, Ryan Bliss. And Bliss is a guy that normally never hits, so keep the shit talking up. Yeah, that will be one. Top of the 6, 4-3 Giants. Next up is J.P. Crawford. And the funny thing is, for the people that typically talk shit, they're not as dedicated as someone like me. I've been watching this team since 1985. So once you end up being a fan of a team for 40 years, come talk to me. That actually does every single game from beginning to end. Come talk to me. You're not on my level. So, just to be a guy that's mad that his parlay didn't hit, that's not my problem. Top of the 6, 4-3 Giants. Rodriguez on the mound. J.P. Crawford in the box. And it's not like Mariner fans think that we're World Series ready. We're nowhere near that. We're just hoping that we can compete for the division. We're not the fucking Dodgers. And no one has ever said that either. So pump the brakes on that. Chopper. And that is foul. Top of the 6, 4-3 Giants. And we still may get swept. The Giants are 7-1. It's not like the Giants are 1-7. I mean, they're one of the best teams in baseball. It fucking happens. Especially when you're struggling and you're on the road. JP strikes out, 2 away. Go back up to the top of the order to Victor Robles. Victor Robles, 1 for 3 with a single in the second. Yeah, I mean, they got to be the team that's favored every single year. They got the Japanese pipeline, Mookie, Freddie, Shohei, an insane fucking pitching staff. I mean, it really is going to come down to injuries. The only team that's going to beat the Dodgers is the Dodgers, more than likely. And they won't win the World Series every year, but it's going to be like when, Belichick, Brady, Gronk, for that 20-year stretch. If you had to pick one team going into the season that would win it all, it's going to be them every year. I mean, unless we end up having serious injuries with Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani, and the pitching staff, then there might be some other teams that will creep up. But, Anyone that watches baseball knows that. And if you don't, then obviously you're not watching. Big swing and a miss behind in the count 1-2. We got runners at second and third with 2 outs. It would be great to be able to tie this up or take the lead, but I'm not going to get greedy. I'm just happy that we got it to 4-3. Well, they're all in. Something that the Mariner organization is not. Some owners are cheap and they just want to profit. Like the Mariners and the Dallas Cowboys. They would just, rather make a profit and not care if they, end up making it, deep runs. But again, it doesn't really make any sense because if you put in money, you make more money, and the deeper the run you make, the more money you make. So it definitely shows you that some owners are much dumber than others. Down the left field line. Nice catch. Wow. And that's the end of the top of the 6th, 4-3 Giants. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, third baseman Matt Chapman. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, DHing Elliot Ramos. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, 3 RBIs and a K, right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. And he's really the one that opened up the game, when we were, up 2-1, and then he ended up hitting that big 3-run blast. So to make it 4-2, but at least we're fighting the best way that we can. But again, when you have your best hitter in Jorge Polanco batting .450, not playing, hard to win. The thing is that's never going to happen because Jerry Jones, he wants to be the face of the franchise, even over the quarterback. So it definitely shows you, when people have ego, that they want to be the face. Like, who else is the face of the franchise as an owner? Nobody, There's guys that are polarizing owners that, you know of, like Mark Cuban and, guys like that in the past, but there really hasn't been a guy that has that kind of ego and narcissistic type of attitude than Jerry Jones. But again, if you actually look at the NFC, right, out of all the teams in the NFC, who's been on the longest drought? Out of all the teams in the NFC to make the NFC Championship game, the Dallas Cowboys. So again, if you have an idiot owner, an idiot GM, an idiot head coach, an idiot offensive defensive coordinator, idiot coordinators, then, you're going to get what you get. If you don't have good management and good ownership, you're going to suck, plain and simple. And I wouldn't put the Mariners necessarily in the Dallas Cowboy conversation, but, our owner is not good. Bottom 5 owner in baseball, for sure. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout, Matt Chapman. And we still got Brian Wu in there trying to wheel and deal, at least finish this inning. Takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. And we got 92 laps to go here in Darlington in the NASCAR Cup Series. Watching that as well. 1-1 pitch from Wu to Chapman. Crushed it towards third base. Foul. Behind in the count 1-2. Let's go, Wu. One-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nice punch out there by Wu. Nice job, Ryan. Way to bring that electricity. And I know that mentally, it was kind of a mind fuck, giving up that 3-run blast to a guy that normally doesn't really hit 3-run blast that often in Mike Yastrzemski, but just trying to settle in here, and at least we have a chance. We're only down a run, but we'll see what happens here the rest of the way. Next up, DHing Elliot Ramos, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Popped up. And foul behind the count 0-1. I mean, there's quite a few shitty owners in the NFL, but I would hate to be a Cowboy fan. That would just be hell. Little dribbler towards third. Demo to first. Got him. You know, I feel bad for guys like CD Lamb, you know, that actually are talented. And, you know, if Dak is okay with just getting paid and, you know, not really ever living up to the potential, fine. But there definitely are a few players, not a lot, but usually like a couple, 3 or 4, that you would think, wow, this guy could be good on another team, you know, but 2 away. Next up is Mike Yastrzemski. Hopefully no more home runs here for him. But if we're talking about the Cowboys, like in, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, especially in the early 90s when they were in their heyday, you know, with Jimmy Johnson, 92, 93, and 95, you know, winning Super Bowls, that was a special time. And a lot of Cowboy fans are living, you know, in the past. They're hanging on to those 3 Super Bowls with Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith, and they think that the team that they have now is like that team. It's not. It's never going to be like that, you know. And they didn't have Jerry Jones as an owner in that same type of mindset back then to now. You know, Jerry Jones is a maniac. He'll never give up control, and that's what happens. I mean, hell, you'd be better off being a Houston Texan fan. Yeah, I mean, if you lived in Texas. Seven more likes to 30. Thank you, STL. Pitch in there for a strike. Got him. There we go. Nice job. Way to be. Nice job, Brian Wu. Let's take a look at the stat line for Brian Wu. That should probably be it for him. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs with a 3-run blast. That doesn't happen to him often. 1 walk, 6 Ks. And he had an ERA of 1 that just went up to 3.75 after that 3-run blast. Unfortunate, but overall, pretty solid day for Brian Wu besides that 1 bad pitch. Baseball, it fucking happens. All right, let's go to the top of the 7. Let's see who's up here for the Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with a solo jack in the first inning. We're going to need another one. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 3 for 3 today. Catcher, Big Dumper, home run, obviously in the 3rd inning as well. And a double and a single, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, a guy that's on a big slump right now, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. And hopefully he'll be able to turn it around. Maybe I need to switch the photo here. Let's go to a different one. Because I can't even talk about him hitting a home run when he can't even just get a fucking hit. Let's swap it out for that one, and maybe we'll get a different result. Let's go, Randy. 83 laps to go. Byron, Bell, Hamlin, Reddick, Logano, Gibbs, Busher, Bowman, Elliott in 8th. Napa, no how. Jones, or in 9th, excuse me, and then Jones in 10th. Let's go, Chase. I haven't represented Chase all day. I might as well do that at least once here. All right, Tyler Rogers into the game. Let's go, baby. Find a way. And he's not going to win the race, more than likely, but if he can get a top 5 finish, that would be great. Tyler Rogers with that sidearm craziness. A 1 count. Great car, great pit stops, clean air, and a dominant driver for Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, there's a reason why they have Bowman, right? William Byron, right? Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. Those are 4 out of the top 10, typically pretty often. I mean, Bowman usually isn't as good as the other 3, but, every once in a while, Bowman will have a top 5, top 10 finish here and there. But, yeah, it's an amazing thing. And hopefully Byron doesn't, I don't know if he'll be able to lead the whole race and win, but, there has been times at this racetrack where if you lead the most laps, you end up not winning the race. And they were talking about that in the pre-show. So I guess if you're a Byron fan, that's not a good stat, but we'll see where it goes. Julio line drive and out, 1 away. Next up, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. But again, if Byron is able to lead every lap and win, he'll be breaking a little bit of history based on some of the past races at Darlington. Cal popped up. Fading foul. Behind in the count, 0-2. Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. You know, if you got the fastest car, you got good pit stops, clean air, you'll see guys do that from time to time, but really what's going to come down to is can he, do it in that last stage, and those last 70, 80 laps are going to be critical. Pit stops will be really crucial, especially with tires. Throw to first on a little slow dribbler, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, Randy Arozarena, and he's in his own head right now. Obviously the ump has been terrible today for both teams, in the strike zone. And it's definitely affected a lot of the hitters in the box today. Mariners and Giant players. First pitch is outside, 1-0 count. These are the type of stats that we like to be able to go over, whether we're looking them up on Google as the race is going on or whether the broadcast is going over it or something that we remember. I mean, we're fanatics here. We're not average. I mean, that's all I do is fucking read and watch film and watch games and events. Obviously spend time with Paisley and walk a hell of a lot too. Pitch is inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Crush towards third base. Throw to first. And that is the end of the Mariners there in the top of the 7th. Man, Randy is struggling, to say the least. We really needed Polo in this game today. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 7th and see who's up next here for the Giants. Next up for the Giants, left fielder 0 for 2, Luis Matos. Batting second in the 8-hole, catcher Patrick Bailey, 0 for 2. And batting third, another 0 for 2, second baseman Christian Koss. And hopefully I'll be able to find a better photo than this piece of shit. Obviously, this is the only one that I was able to find of him. Not to my standard, but, and it doesn't even show his face. It just shows his jersey and him giving someone a high five. But, sometimes that happens for guys that aren't regulars, and there's not a whole lot out there. All right, 4-3 Giants. Let's go, baby. Find a way. Shout out to STL and Calvin so far helping out on the Dono train. See if we can get anybody else to help. All right, now Vargas is coming in for Woo, so Woo's day is done. And really, besides that one bad pitch for that 3-run blast, he was amazing. He did a great job. It's really unfortunate that happened, but even when you have your best pitchers, you can't expect them to be clean every single game. Sometimes the other team is going to see that perfect pitch. They're going to have that perfect swing. Doesn't have to be a torpedo bat, and it's gone. So. Well, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon action. Yep, you are right. All right, well, we got 7 hits. I mean, we got more hits, and we don't have an error. This is the only second error of the season for the Giants, but again, we have to find a way to hopefully tie this game up at some point here in this sprint in these last 3 innings. And we'll see if William Byron can lead every single lap and win. I don't want to say it's going to be impossible. It is possible to happen, especially the way that his car has been and his skill set behind the wheel. But again, it hasn't happened in a long time. This is a great stat right here, too. And you would have thought that it would have happened since then. 25 years? And you got to think how many races there are per year. Like 30 to 40, right? So it's a very difficult thing. Let's go, Ems. Fuck, we're trying. We're trying to, but I mean, this team is phenomenal. I mean, you got to think, but besides the Dodgers, Dodgers are fantastic. Padres have been good this year. But I think that the Giants are the surprise team for the first 8 games of the season. I don't even think Giant fans expected for them to be this good. So you got to give credit where credit's due, but hopefully Carlos Vargas here will step up and hopefully we can get a little bit more offense. But again, to be able to get a solo jack from Julio, solo jack from Cal Raleigh, and we don't have Polo, he's batting .450, the number 1 player for the Seattle Mariners in 2025. We haven't had him in the last 2 games, and I honestly think that if Polo played yesterday and today, we win. Maybe not both games, but at least one. Maybe both. You never know. 68 laps to go at Darlington. First pitch from Vargas to Matos, in there for a ball, 1-0 count. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. And it's not going to get any easier. We play the fucking Astros at T-Mobile on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'll be live streaming all 3 of those games as well. And I haven't missed a Mariner game yet all year. This is your source for, not only the Mariners, but MLB. And I'm trying to do probably 150 plus of the 162 games. You're not going to get too many streamers that are going to have that kind of dedication. On top of doing NFL, NBA, WWE, NASCAR, pretty much anything that is out there, we'll do it. 2-1 pitch from Vargas to Matos. And a slow dribbler towards third. And Demo fumbles the bag, and he is safe. That's rough. That is rough. Nice job by Luis. Next up, catcher Patrick Bailey, 0 for 2. Hopefully it'll be 0 for 3. I figured you were going to say that. Do you watch them that often? Be honest. Do you watch them as often as you watch the Saints or no? How often do you watch the Astros play, Calvin? Like, what's your pecking order for your sports teams? Does it go Saints, Alabama Crimson Tide, then Houston Astros? Or is it a different order? I remember things about people. Oh, really? Yeah. I have the broadcast on, but I have it kind of on a low volume, so I didn't get a chance to hear that. That's interesting. Yeah. You're a working man. Calvin's a working man. Yeah. Well, I mean, based on how the Saints played last year, I don't blame you. They weren't very good. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the NFC South again, if Tampa wins the division again, or if Atlanta catches up. And we'll see where the Saints sit. And Panthers obviously will be at the bottom still. Big swing and a miss. And Matos steals second, and he is safe. Watch more Bama. Deservedly so. Obviously, Bailey strikes out after that steal attempt, 1 away. Next up is Christian Koss. First pitch in the zone for a strike, 0-1 count. We got 63 laps to go. Byron, Bell, Hamlin, Reddick, Logano in your top 5. Busher, Gibbs, Blaney, Elliott, and Jones in your top 10. Napa, no how. Chase in 9th. Let's get into the top 5, baby. Another pitch right down the middle. Koss takes another strike looking behind in the count, 0-2. Speaking of 4, another guy that works really hard for his money, me. Not easy being a fucking streamer. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Nice job by Vargas. 2 away. Next up, back at the top of the order, first baseman Lamont Wade Jr. Hell yeah, bro. Keep grinding. Hard workers, usually vibe with each other. There's a lot of lazy motherfuckers that are out there, And I know you're not one of them, and neither am I. You got to work hard for your dreams and your goals. And you know that, and I know that. Bottom of the 7th, 4-3 Giants. Runner at second. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lamont Wade Jr. Yeah, and I'm walking 5 miles a day, 7 days a week. You know, not very many people got that dedication with love to their, you know, pup or dog. I'll tell you that. Painting custom shoes for a guy going to Mania. Really, what did you do for what did he want for a wrestling theme? Did he have a particular wrestler that he wanted you to do, or was it just kind of like a scheme for the actual just WrestleMania event itself? Like, did you write out WrestleMania on the shoes, or did you have like a wrestler that you drew on there? Chopper up the middle. Throw to first, and we leave 1 stranded there for the Giants. Let's go to the top of the 8th. 4-3 Giants with a 1-run lead. Anything else you want to see photo-wise for your donos, let me know as well. 6 more likes to 30. 58 laps to go here at Darlington. Byron, Bell, Hamlin, Reddick, and Logano in your top 5. John Cena fan-painted shoes to match the John Cena jersey from the WWE site. Oh, okay. I'm not really a big John Cena guy. You know, I got some John Cena merch, you know, from old shows. You know, I got the purple headband and purple wristband still in the plastic, you know, from when he was in his prime way back in the day, you know, from shows in Seattle and Oregon and Portland and whatnot. But should be interesting to see how it all kind of plays out at Mania and for the rest of the year for Cena on his farewell tour. Let's get there, baby. 6 more to 30. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Jay Buhner. Jay Buhner on what team? The Mariners? That's my guy, man. Bones. Yankees were dumb letting him go, but, you know, we love him. He's never really considered like one of the top guys, you know, but again, a very solid role player, and he's very loved, you know, here in the Pacific Northwest, just like this other guy that's on a photo with him too. Fucking Bones, my guy. That's my childhood right there. Oh, God, they have Donovan Solano coming in. He's terrible. Send him back to San Diego. He's ass. Yeah, but you've only been doing the job for a short period of time. It is a hard job, you know, but again, you know, for some of us, we've been doing, you know, certain jobs for years. Like, you know, I've been doing this shit for fucking 13 years, you know, 9 years on YouTube, you know, not to take anything away from anyone working for 6 months to a year or 2 years, you know, doing Amazon. That's hellish work, you know, but for some of us, you know, the grind is really real. And again, normally when I was not doing phone sales for big corporate companies over the phone, I was doing warehouse work, kind of like what you were doing. Like one of the last jobs that I had before I started doing this job full time, I worked at SawStop, and I had to unload 40-foot trailers, like 5-6 a day. And sometimes it would take 5 or 6 guys, like an hour and a half, nonstop moving to unload one. And, you know, the items were as, you know, low as 10 pounds, as high as 400 pounds. And those items that were 400, you had to have another guy help you. So, you know, anyone that's ever worked warehouse, you know, and having to be on your feet, I have much respect for. So, little slow dribbler towards third. Nice defense there, and he fumbled the bag. Oh, I love Lou Piniella. Sweet Lou, baby. Someone that will actually stand up for himself and the players. Love Sweet Lou. Best manager we've ever had. So Solano ends up coming aboard and getting a hit. That's rare. And next up, Mitch Garver, another guy that's been asked. But hopefully he won't be asked here because we could really use an unsung hero today. Come on, Mitch. Yeah, and the correct answer is not the Mariners, not the Phillies, the Dodgers. And I think we all know that. The only team that's beaten the Dodgers is the Dodgers if they get injuries. And their pitching staff is so good, even if like Snell and a few others go down, fuck, they got another like billion guys that can step in to get it done. But really, the only team that's going to beat the Dodgers is more than likely the Dodgers with injuries. But, you know, if they don't get hurt, good luck in a 7-game series against a team like that. Top of the 8th, 4-3 Giants. 2-0 count to Mitch Garver. Pitch there in the zone for a strike from Miller to Garver. Padres are a good team, but they're not good enough. They don't have the moxie, you know, or the experience to win it all, in my opinion. You know, they can make it far, you know, but, you know, they can make the playoffs, but if it's against the Dodgers, I mean, who would you pick? If you had to put money on, you know, hell, you know, based on how the season is going, if the Giants and Padres play, the Giants might actually be the better team between those two teams. We're going to have a very exciting, you know, NL West. You know, after the Dodgers, who's getting second place? Is it the Padres? Maybe not. Maybe the Giants will be the second place team in that division. So, again, we don't know if the Giants are going to be able to keep this up, you know, for the full year, but you know, we'll have to kind of wait and see. Really too early to say. No. Yankees are good even with their torpedo bats, but they don't got pitching. They needed to have Garrett Cole healthy this year, and they might have the torpedo bats, and that might help, you know, short term and long term. But if you don't have pitching and defense, right, that's what they were supposed to be the best at over the Dodgers. What happened in the World Series, right? Pitching and defense, who dominated? Not the Yankees, it was the Dodgers. So, again, pitching and defense is what makes you win a World Series, not hitting. Hitting is important, but not as important as pitching and defense. Just like in the Super Bowl, you got to have defense. Defense wins games. Defense wins championships. And Garver with a hit. Lo and behold. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Solano with a hit. Garver with a hit. We're actually trying to come back and win this game. You know, you have a hater come in and say sweep, and now we're in a position to at least tie it up. Let's go. Next up, our probably third hottest hitter on the team, Dylan Moore. Let's go. Haters unite. You know, my dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s, you know, grew up in LA and lived in Hawaii, you know, back in the Sandy Koufax era. So I'm very familiar, you know, before the Dodgers became this like super team. You know, I've been following them for as long as I've been alive. 1-0 pitch. Pitch there on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second and no outs. Come on, Mariners. Yeah, you know, the Giants are fun, man. I just don't like them beating me up here, but I'm going to go out of my way to watch them this year. You know, I watch a lot. I got MLB TV, and, you know, I'm going to follow the Mariners for me and the fan base and my friends. I'm going to follow the Dodgers for my dad, but I'm going to be tuning in to a lot of other teams to, you know, because I have to be an expert, not just on my team, but all the teams. So I'll definitely go out of my way to keep up with this Giant team. They're fun. Popped up, and Dylan Moore pops out 1 away. Next up, second baseman Ryan Bliss. Now, I mean, we don't have our best hitter, playing with Polo being out, batting .450 with the knee injury. So, I mean, I hope we prevent the sweep. I mean, we were able to, beat Scooball when we almost got swept by the Tigers, but the injuries have really taken a toll on the Mariners earlier in the year. We haven't been able to hit. We were a bottom 5 hitting team the last 3 to 4 years, and now we're even worse than they were even last year. And hopefully Polo will be healthy. And we really need George Kirby healthy. Haven't had him all year, or Matt Brash, or Troy Taylor in the pen. And our bullpen stinks. Our defense stinks. Our hitting stinks. But we have certain games where we step up. So just being honest. But again, like in this situation here, probably going to get nothing. 0-1 pitch with runners at first and second with 1 out. And dribbler, and that's going to be a double play. Bye-bye. And great defense there by the Giants, and a double play, and we leave 2 stranded. And when you're not a very good hitting team, you can't afford to hit into a double play often. And the Mariners kind of have a knack for that, unfortunately. But at least we're only down 1 to go to the bottom of the 8th. Next up for the Giants, 1 for 3 with a run, shortstop Willie Adames from the Brew Crew. Good signing. Next up, center fielder, the Korean King, 2 for 3 with a run. Great defender in center field. Great hitter, Jung-Hoo Lee. Remember that name. He's nice. And batting third, 0 for 3, a good defender at third, and typically a good hitter. Today, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, but he'll probably get a hit here, Matt Chapman. Let's go, Mariners. Well, it's not over till it's fully over, but we'll see where it goes. All right, what are we looking at? Darlington here. 38 laps to go. Oh, look at that. William Byron not leading every lap, huh? Reddick, Bell, Byron, Logano, Busher. So that might be a good thing. Hamlin, Priest, and then Elliott just moved up to 7th place. Let's go, baby. Naplin, no. Hell, let's go, Chase. Top 5 finish, baby. It's going to get real dicey here. And I don't know what will finish first, the game or the NASCAR race, but we're going to get pretty close here. Yeah, but Young Fatty, you're not a fan. You're just doing a parlay. So, your opinion doesn't really matter. All right, Bizzardo's coming in. Yeah, I like Vita. Oh, Edward Bizzardo, not very good, relief pitcher in the pen, so he's very hit or miss. I don't really know what to expect, but he's got an ERA of 6.35. Holy hell. $35 laps to go here in Darlington. Reddick, Bell, Byron, Logano, Busher, Hamlin, Elliott, Blaney, Gibbs, and Priest in your top 10. And next up in the box is Willie Adames, formerly of the Brew Crew. 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th and a run. 5 more likes to 30. Let's get there. First pitch for Bizzardo to Adames. In there for a strike. Behind in the count 0-1. Judah in the building. How are you, my guy? Happy Sunday, bro. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Adames. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Behind in the count, 1-2. 32 laps to go there at Darlington. Starting to come down to the wire, baby. Probably going to be a big wreck between now and the end. One-two pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Adames. Astradamus. 2-2 pitch. Ooh, did that hit him? I think it just bounced off Cal's mitt there. Hopefully both guys are okay there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, he did. Early this morning here in the States. Pretty cool. And he's a class act. You know, Gretzky was there. They had the whole little celebration. Ovi is awesome. He's great for the NHL. Hope you're having a good morning / afternoon. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Giants. 2-2 pitch from Bizzardo. Adames, slow dribbler. Demo, throw to first. Got him. 1 away. Next up, the Korean King, the Korean Killer, center fielder Jung-Hoo Lee. Absolute stud. Great defender in center field and a clutch hitter. Kind of wish he was in Seattle, if I'm being honest. Two for 3 with a double, a single, and a sac fly. First pitch right down the middle for Bizzardo to Jung-Hoo Lee. In there for a strike, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Giants. Nobody on with 1 out. And the NASCAR Cup Series race coming down to the wire as well here in Darlington. Jung-Hoo Lee pops up, fading foul. Behind in the count, 0-2. I'm going to have to get one of these Ricola. My voice getting a little raspy for calling all these games every day. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I always have like a big old basket of the Ricola. You need that, especially being an everyday streamer. Oh, that's good. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Wow, rare strikeout for Jung-Hoo Lee. I haven't seen him strike out in ages. Incredible. 2 away. Next up, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, third baseman Matt Chapman. Good defender at third and a good hitter. Kind of surprised he's 0 for 3 today. But Brian Wu has, been pretty good. No, I don't drink coffee. Not regularly. Maybe once every 2 months. Like a Starbucks thing, maybe, but not often. Once every couple months, maybe. But. And I know it's not good for you, but I'm more of like an energy drink guy, like a Monster. But I got to be able to have the energy, so. Behind in the count, 0-2 to Chapman. O2 pitch from Bizzardo to Chapman. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Bizzardo was starting to walk off the field. Not so fast. I like the way that it tastes. And that energy boost. Pitches low and into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Pitch is high and tight inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Never tried Venom. Who makes it? Is that through like a Coca-Cola brand or something? Or an independent brand? Never heard of Venom. Chopper towards third, foul. And I've never really been a big Red Bull guy. I mean, I did it when I used to drink alcohol every day, way back in the day, but I haven't had a Red Bull in, 5 years, maybe longer. I don't know, but I kind of prefer the taste of the green Monster, the green and black can, rather than a Red Bull. There's just not enough Red Bull in the can for me. I mean, if I'm going to drink an energy drink, I need a fucking shitload. I need a big-ass can, not some little rinky-dink can. But I know they have different sizes of the cans as well with that, so. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Giants. Bizzardo on the mound, who's typically ass, if I'm being honest. And Matt Chapman in the box. 3-2 pitch. Dribbler towards third, failing, foul. And we got 22 laps to go in Darlington. Reddick, Bell, Byron, Blaney, and Hamlin in your top 5. Chase Elliott in 8th. Let's go Chase. Napa, no how. 3-2 pitch to Bizzardo. To Chapman, and he's fighting him off. Another foul ball. Holy hell, Chapman is in his 10th pitch. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Juice. I do drink a lot of juice. I'm a big OJ guy, and I'm a big milk guy, and a big water guy too. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. I'm glad I was able to relay some information about Polo to you and to Justin, my best friend. I was saying, it's not on the injury report. What the hell is going on here? So then I had to dig deeper into the insiders for the Mariners and finally found out the info. So. I see it. Yeah, Florida should be able to win it all. But, I mean, we thought Duke was going to win it all, but when you have bad coaching and you make one basket in 10 minutes in a 20-minute half, you deserve to lose. I feel bad for Cooper Flagg, but that was all on the coach. I mean, who the hell loses the lead when you're up 6 with 30 seconds left? You think Coach K would have lost that game? Fuck no. But that's the different levels in coaching, you know. Oh, I hear my pup. She's saying, wow, 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 daddy. You want to come in? There you go. He's almost done. Here. Here, honey. Good girl. All right, my pup is in here. Yeah, and it kind of sucks that Duke didn't make it, regardless if you're bandwagon or not, because Houston versus Florida doesn't really give you the same vibes as Duke, Florida. That would have been a hell of a lot better, of a championship. But even look at South Carolina and UConn. That shit wasn't even a contest. UConn with Paige Buekas and company blew the fuck out of them. So, you never know in sports. Anything can happen. That's why we love it, right? No matter how much ESP you think you have, no one's going to be right all the time, including myself. And sometimes the unexpected happens. Force out at second. There we go. All right, last opportunity here for the Mariners. Let's see who's up next to see if we can prevent the sweep. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, right fielder, Victor Robles. And batting third with a home run in the first inning, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Nice job hitting a homer today. Same thing with Cal. But we're really missing Polo and that 450 average today, as well as yesterday. Yeah, but that's the coach's fault, to be able to see your lead dwindling and not call timeouts at the proper time to stop the bleeding, and then to set up a certain play to kind of get them going. And, I have never seen a collapse in a Final Four like that ever in my entire life, and normally that coach is pretty good. That was the first time I've seen a coach fumble a bag for 10 minutes. And you can't fumble the bag, and make one basket in 10 minutes at the end of the game and think you're going to win. And, shout out to Houston for making it, but they're not winning the championship. Now Florida is smiling ear to ear, thinking we don't even need to worry about Cooper Flagg. Oh, we're going to, and again, Houston will probably play them tough for at least a half, but realistically, Florida should be able to pull away based on the talent on that roster. It would be the most shocking thing on planet Earth if Houston ends up being the college basketball men's champion. No one had that penciled in. Nobody. Hell, even Houston fans are shocked. Reflect with a $4 holla. Appreciate that. Stacks on stacks. Rex on Rex. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. And we got a 3-game set with the Astros, so we'll be obviously doing that on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No problem. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Yeah, I can do that. We'll probably have to get through these next 3 out since I'm calling the game. And as soon as the game is over, we'll throw up some photos for Reflect and Megan. And I'll get them loaded up as I'm calling the game. And then Camilo Doval coming in for the Giants. Crawford leading it off. First pitch inside to JP, 1-0 count for Camilo Crawford on the mound, and JP Crawford in the 9-hole in the box. We're down 4-3 in the top of the 9th. Pitches outside, 2-0 count. And really the only way we're going to get back into this game based off walks and hit by pitches, or bunting. Like, we have to find a way to kind of manufacture, a ways to get in here. And if we have guys being patient enough, we might be able to make some kind of rally, but realistically, the brooms are pretty much out right now. It's going to take a miracle for us to come back. Two-one pitch. Chopper. And that's one away. JP goes down. Should have been more patient. Maybe if you were able to force a walk right there, we might have had a chance to tie this game up. Next up, right fielder, Victor Robles. And Robles is starting to kind of get in tune. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a base knock. Not a homer, but, like a single-double type of action. Doval is a little wild, so let's see what we get here. First pitch. There we go. Nice single by Victor Robles. There we go. Sometimes, you have a little gut feeling. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Nice home run, to start off the game in the first, like you did against the Tigers. But we're going to need some heroics here. Nice job, Victor. We're at 20, 80 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 1 for 4 with a solo homer in the first. Nice to see Julio with 3 home runs within the first 8 games, 9 games, rather than having to wait the first 20 games to get his first one. But usually when Julio is, going, it's typically more than a 1 for 4 day. Slow dribbler, tagged at first. Terrible at bat for Julio there. 2 away. And now we're down to one of our saviors. You might know him as a nickname, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Great day today. One of his best days so far, 3 for 4. Can he make it a 4 for 5 day? That's asking a hell of a lot. Yeah, Blaney is one of the best drivers in the Cup Series, top to bottom. 7 to go. Reddick, Blaney, Hamlin, Byron, and Bell. Where's my boy Chase at? 7th. Oh, wow. Gal with the walk, huh? Well, Randy has been terrible. He's obviously been in his own head. And remember, Reflect, we thought that, the umps were pretty bad, a few games ago. This ump has been the worst in the entire series. Probably 15 missed calls for both teams, combined. He hasn't been good for the Giants or the Mariners today. It's either the strike zone is extremely small or extremely large, and it definitely has affected the mental capacity of guys like Randy Arozarena. So based on him being 0 for 4, walking Gal, that was a pretty smart move. Now, I'm not saying that Randy can't be an unsung hero, but He hasn't really shown that he can do it lately, and it would be a miracle for him to get something here, even a single. And now if he gets hit by a pitch or gets a walk, great. But I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Oh, nice. How young? How old are we talking? Like 19 or something? And then we got Doval with his pitch comment in his hat there, getting readjusted. Caution with 4 to go. Ooh, 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 baby. 0-1 count. He steps off the mound. Top of the 9th, 4-3 Giants. Randy Arozarena in the box, who's been ice cold. Pitches in the zone, but called ball. And Robles steals third. Here we go. At least Robles is giving a chance here. Nice job by Robles there. Oh, top of the 9th, 4-3 Giants. Doval on the mound. Randy Arozarena in the box. Pitches outside with that cutter. And now takes a strike looking. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Uh-oh. Down to our last strike here. Runners at first and third. Can Randy be a hero and make this game go into extras? Or are we going to get swept here and the brooms are going to be out? I mean, the Giants are a fantastic team. I have nothing negative to say about them. I just wish the umps were a little better today. Two-two pitch. Dribbler. And he got a base hit. You got to be shitting me. Wow. Go, 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 go. Oh, my. Let's go. And for a guy that has not been good, what a stud. That was awesome. 4-4. We're tied up. And hopefully that'll give us that Uncle Mo and that momentum that we needed. I mean, when guys go 0 for 4, they typically go 0 for 5. And you could tell that the ump had got in his head this whole game. And thank God, when Victor Robles stole third to give us a chance for that to happen. Trident's up. We're knotted up at 4. Can we possibly take the lead? I don't want to get greedy here, but, you know, we do have guys at second and third, and now we got Miles Mastrobuoni, the former Cub, in action. Hell yeah. I was not expecting that whatsoever. One-0 pitch, pitches outside, 2-0 count. Pitch in the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike in the top of the 9th. We knotted it up at 4. Wasn't expecting anything like this, but again, sometimes you have to expect the unexpected. Let's see if the former Cub can be a hero. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reflect with a 5er. Appreciate you. Pitch is way outside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wow, and a walk. Oh, my God. You kidding me? Oh, my. And we have Garver on deck. Could Garver just blow it out of the water? Nice job, Miles. Let's go, Moose. Unbelievable. Was not expecting that. Now we're going to have a pitching change. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Next up is Mitch Garver. See if I can squeeze in a photo or two where they have a mound visit here for Megan. Give me a little hack and we'll get some Ovi. Appreciate you. Bases loaded 4-4 in the top of the ninth. Top of the ninth, 4-4, bases loaded. Mound visit is over. First pitch to Mitch Garver in there for a strike. Come on, Mitch. And shout out to Obi for breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. Incredible. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, it's more than just flag, though. You know, when you're up by 6 with 30 seconds to go, Coach K would have not lost that game. Tell me I'm wrong. It's bad coaching. Can't blame it on flag. Popped up, and we leave bases loaded, stranded, but hey, we end up tying up that game. Randy Arozarena, 4 runs, 11 hits, and we're going to go to the bottom of the ninth and see if we can force extras. You know, but you don't have a lead and like they did and lose it like that, you know. How can you score 1 hoop in 10 minutes of play? That's unexcusable. All right, I got one from today. Appreciate you. What a stud. The OG, Alexander Ovechkin, breaking Wayne Gretzky's record, the great one. Now, what are we going to call Ovi now? All right, so he was up next year in the bottom of the ninth for the Giants. Leading off, 1 for 3 with a 3-run blast against Brian Wu. That was very unexpected. Right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. Batting second, left fielder Luis Matos. And batting third, catcher Patrick Bailey. As long as they don't make any, pinch hit substitutions, we'll see. Let's go Mariners. Let's go, baby. We need this. Let's get it. All right, we got the restart here at Darlington. NASCAR Cup Series race just about to end as well. Good timing here. Who's going to win? Overtime. Oh, God. Ooh. Wow. He shot out of there like a fucking cannon, didn't he? Wow. 2 to go. What a great restart. Holy hell. Hamlin. He fucking got shot out. Oh my, I don't know if anyone's going to catch Denny. Oh my God. Wow, that was crazy. All right, bottom of the ninth, 4-4. And we're getting just ready here for Yastrzemski to take his bat. Hamlin, Byron, Bell, Reddick, and Blaney in your top 5. Busher, Chastain, Elliott, Gibbs, and Bush in your top 10. Final lap, and it looks like Hamlin's going to beat Byron after Byron almost led every fucking lap. Wow. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people like Denny. It's either a love-hate thing with him, just like Kyle Busch. And we got Gregory Santos in the matchup now. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 count. And another slider for a ball, 2-0 count. And Denny Hamlin with the win. Wow. Third pitch, another slider for a ball, 3-0 count. What the hell are you doing, Santos? My God, are we walking him? And that's a walk. Come on, Santos. You're looking like Andres Munoz out there. Holy hell. Not reliable. Where's Troy Taylor when you need him? Next up is left fielder Luis Matos. We need a double play bad. Bottom of the ninth with no outs. First batter that Santos faces, he walks, and now we got Matos stepping up. First pitch to Matos. In there for a sinker in the zone, but called ball. A little questionable call there. Could have been ball or strike. Next pitch in there on the 1-0 pitch. Sinker. That one's a ball. 2-0 count. God, this guy's terrible. And this is a guy that was supposed to be reliable for us. Holy hell. Come on. 5 straight shitty pitches. Now 6. Santos on the mound. Matos in the box. And now Cal Raleigh with a mound visit. Oh. We got the AEW pay-per-view starting in about an hour and 20 minutes. Takes a strike looking with that slider. Nice pitch there. Finally a strike after like 6 or 7 fucking pitches. 2-1 count from Santos to Matos. Come on, Gregory. Bottom of the ninth, we're knotted up at 4. Randy Arozarena getting that clutch RBI because Victor Robles stole third. If he didn't do that, we wouldn't have tied this game up whatsoever. We left him stranded, but at least we feel like we have the Uncle Mo now, and we got the momentum. Fielder's choice. Matos grounded out to a fielder's choice to the shortstop. 1 away. Next up for the Giants, catcher Patrick Bailey, 0 for 3 with a K. Pop out, fly out, strikeout. First pitch. Oh, shit. Popped up. Back, back, back. All the way to the wall. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think Victor Robles has broke his hand. Uh-oh. Victor Robles broke his hand. I think his wrist and his hand are broken. He smashed into the wall, and he broke it. He broke it. Fuck. Fuck. They say that he caught it, but I'm pretty sure he broke his hand there. His wrist bent, and I'm pretty sure it's broken. Damn it. And if Victor Robles is out for the year, we're fucked. I mean, he ran full speed into the wall, and I mean, if he did catch that and drop it, but as you see the replay here, full speed, extending, hits the wall, and then he hits his hand against the fucking pole through the net. I think it broke it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I mean, he went through the net, and then his right hand hit the pole hard. Like, I'm pretty sure if that's not fractured or broken, I mean, that's a bad fucking sprain. He is not going to be back for a while. That looked bad. And then he's like fucking tumbling over. I pray to God that he didn't break that. Holy hell. Now you got all the training staff. You got Julio there. You got Randy there. You got Dan Wilson there. Medical staff there. He's in pain. Like, legit. I've never seen that happen in baseball before. You know, someone going into right field, flying through the net, and then hitting the actual support, the metal, with his right hand after he caught it with his left hand. Yeah, I think he broke it. He's holding it like this. Dude, we're fucked. Oh, no. And it makes you kind of wonder if the net wasn't there, you know, would it have been worse or better? Maybe he would have been able to move his arm out of the way without the net being there. But, I mean, he went in like, remember when Derek Jeter, you know, ended up going into like the first 2 or 3 rows and he ended up having that injury? You know, that was like the same type of speed in that right field area. And I'm pretty sure that motherfucker is broken. Now the Giants announcers are trying to say, oh, it might be his shoulder. It ain't his fucking shoulder. It's his forearm. It's his wrist. And he's like crying. It's broken. Oh, he's crying. It's broken. MLB players are not crying for no reason. They're holding the shoulder up. He's holding up his wrist. But I think that's a forearm fracture. He caught it with his left hand, and then he went through the net, and then his right hand hit the pole hard. And it bent weird. And yeah, his season's probably over now. Yeah, no, it's not the shoulder, it's the forearm. Unless it's the shoulder and the forearm, but I mean, watching the game, it didn't look like the shoulder. It looked like the wrist, forearm area, and it's broken, and he's crying, like bawling. And now they got the medical staff out there. I mean, at this fucking point, I don't even care if we win this game. I'd rather have, you know, I'd rather have Victor Robles healthy the rest of the year. Who gives a fuck if he caught that or not? Now we're going to lose one of our best players, probably for the season. Holy hell. Now he gets on the little ambulance, you know, type thing here. All right, so they're going to challenge the catch, even though our guy is like dying on the field right now. And Victor's holding his wrist, and man, I have not seen anything like that in ever. I hope it's not career ending either. Like, it doesn't even matter now. Like, no one even cares. I mean, Giants fans want to win this, but I mean, not having the net there probably would have been better, you know, and the net being there, I think, caused the injury. Because he hit right here, like that, like went through the net and hit in that spot. So I'm pretty sure it broke, and it might be more than one bone that broke there. It doesn't look like a sprain. Like, it looks like he broke that shit. I mean, there's no bone sticking out, but I'm pretty sure that's a fracture. We'll get an MRI tonight. The net is put up typically on the first base and third base line, so that when line drive baseballs get hit into the crowd, that people don't get hit in the head, and then they don't end up having an injury. So it's supposed to prevent injuries, but maybe in that case, it made the injury worse. I mean, he was going to go flying into into that area anyways, but he might have been able to tuck his arm in. But just the simple fact that when he hit the net, it made him go straight instead of him being able to maneuver his arm. But I don't know, could have possibly been worse with no net, where he could have injured more body parts. But I don't even know what to say now. Like, I don't even care if we win now. I don't want to say our season's over, but the chances of seeing Victor Robles in 2025 is probably 0 now. I mean, the only person that's happy about that might be JP Crawford, because he might lead off again, but Jesus Christ. And a base knock. And they're coming home. And that's it. Game over. 5-4 Giants. But, I mean, after you lose one of your best players, like, we don't even care. Nice job by the Giants. Good win. But, wow. Great sweep by the Giants, but that was just terrible, terrible way, for us to end this series. And I wish the best of luck for the Giants. Kick ass and take names against the Padres and the Dodgers. But, I mean, that was one of our top 3 players. Oh, man. I mean, they have the right to, just because our guy got hurt, they have the right to challenge any play that they want to. But, I mean, obviously anything that we had momentum-wise disappeared as soon as he broke his forearm. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and hopefully Victor Robles will be okay, and that's not career ending. And I got one question for you. But you don't talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I am out. Okay.